It all starts inside the game. Deep in the Wolverine forest, a guy stands his ground, blood dripping down his face. Facing him, a massive army, and a girl lounging on a throne, like she owns the place. Her lackey asks, "What's the play?" "We tried everything, he won't go down." She thinks for a second and drops the hammer. "End him." A tank of a man rushes in, swinging a massive axe. Our guy looks totally open, defenseless, until suddenly, a white-haired blur bursts from the tree line. One clean slice. The guy's on the ground. They cheer for Hirken's arrival. The mob screams kill him, trying to swarm, but then he hits them with that glare. Glowing and sharp, you know the vibe. Enemies drop instantly, hitting the dirt dead. Still, he asks, "You really think ganging up on me changes the math? Even with this crowd, you can't stop me." That's An Jae-hyun. In-game, they call him the hero slaughterer. The team behind him starts stammering, "Sorry Hirken, we messed up bad. Didn't think these scumbags would ambush us here." But Hirken shuts it down, telling them to chill. He pulls his teammate up. The dude is weeping, just hearing his name, but Hirken brushes it off. "It's on me anyway." Then he turns to that sorry excuse for a villainess. She's always chasing him, but never has the skills to win. He looks at her like she's dirt, calls her an idiot. She just stares back. "Chat, I seriously hate pretty villains. Why can't they be ugly so we can just say, 'No mercy, finish her'?" But nah, this guy is wired differently. Even if she's evil, just because she's hot. He holds back. She stands up, mocking their little bromance is touching. Why so emotional? A pile of trash banding together is still just trash. Her name is Sheer. In real life, that witch is Chae Seol-yun, the Thunder Queen. But Hirken claps back. "Every time you try this, it ends the same. You get humiliated and tossed out like garbage. You're no exception." Sheer warns him he'll regret running his mouth. He calmly taps his watch. Slot activate. Boom. Mask on, sword out. Dude just equipped a full +99 legendary set. Real talk though, that mask is goofy. It is barely possible to put a mask on a character without looking cringe. He points his blade. "Heard that speech a million times, lady." Sheer snaps, calls him arrogant and orders the kill. He smirks. "You still don't get that it's impossible." Suddenly shing a blade through the back. Classic. His so-called friends. They betrayed him, landing a critical hit. His HP bar tanks fast, paralyzed. He drops like a sack of potatoes. Trying to process the betrayal, the friends mutter apologies. "We need the cash, man," they say. One begs him not to hate them, claiming it was the best option. Hirken spins around in shock. And that witch, Sheer, is laughing in his face. "Doesn't matter how pretty she is now, you just want to see heads roll." She steps up. "Idiot. You chose friendship over profit. Time to get deleted." Bathed in sunlight, the witch mocks him. "From now on, every time you log in, 0 progress. We'll camp your body and kill you over and over. Even a pro like him can't escape the loop." She knows he has nothing. In real life, this game is his entire life. Losing here means losing everything, going back to being a nobody. Hirken tries to stand and fight, but he's out of HP. Blood everywhere, stabbed in the chest, arms, stomach. He's Swiss cheese. And she has the nerve to thank them. "These guys, just like some simps in my chat, sold out their friend just for her. I take back every nice thing I ever said about them." Hirken is barely holding on. "Why did you do this? I built this guild for us." He looks absolutely broken. All he asks for now is a quick end. They claim it hurt them too. To do it, but someone offered hundreds of millions for his head. Who says no to that? Our MC can't believe it. All for money. "You have no idea what I sacrificed for you. It was worth more than any fortune. We were family." Fading to black, the last thing he sees is their cold stares. The system floods the screen. "You died. Warning, 48-hour lockout initiated." He wakes up in his gaming pod in his room. Shattered. He really lost it all. Must be one of those hardcore servers. One death, game over. You lose everything. The game is Warlord, and the second it dropped, total global domination. Powered by next-gen AI, this wasn't just a game, it was a gold mine. A literal ticket to billionaire status. And our boy, absolute beast inside the server. But in real life, everyone treated him like straight-up garbage. Until one dude saw him wreck a goblin and checked his stats. Impressed by the raw power, he reached out. "Let's build a guild. Grow together, rise together." Hirken finally evolved, finding the one place he didn't feel like an outcast. Fast forward to betrayal. No forgiveness. No mercy. He snatches his jacket, storming out, screaming he's gonna hunt them down, in real life. Every single one. The vengeance arc starts now. He's blowing up their phones, desperate for answers, but gets nothing but dial tones, muttering about how they don't deserve peace. Then bam. The traffic light. The massive grille. Blinding headlights. You know the trope. Good old truck coon comes for a visit. But the kicker? It's a literal garbage truck. Talk about a humiliating exit. Bleeding out on the asphalt, eyes locked on his smashed screen. Call failed. Unreachable. Just like them. His final thought screams irony. Of all the rides to take me out. Why a trash truck face planted in the dirt, gasping. He can't punch out like this. Not after that knife in the back. Not before making those traders and that witch pay. Then flash of light. System initialize. Connecting. Verifying player progress. Welcome back, Hirkin. Mission survive the Minotaur's maze. Instantly. He recognizes the game code, but the tutorial "what the hell is going on?" Suddenly, a voice screams at him. Hey noob, wake up, focus. They're facing a Minotaur. Bodies are dropping, and the difficulty level. Borderline impossible. Hirkin scrambles to his feet, brain lagging. He asks the room, why is the Minotaur here? The devs nerfed this boss out of the tutorial years ago because it was broken. The other guy looks at him like he's crazy. What are you on about? Warlord only launched 10 months ago. Bam. Reality check. Harder than the garbage truck. He mutters, 10 months. 10 months. Gripping his blade. The squad's trying to strategize, talking signals and timing. But Hirkan, he's already gone. Full send. Charging straight in. Are you insane? You got a death wish. The Minotaur swings a massive axe. But with zero hesitation, eyes cold movements, surgical, Hirkin unleashes a perfect combo. Slice and dice. Beast down. Instant KO. The other players are frozen jaws on the floor. Who is this guy? Did he just one-shot a boss? They crowd him fanboying hard. Yo, you got serious skills. I don't do this for just anyone, but you want in on my guild. Hirkin looks unimpressed. Zero emotion. He stands tall, made a decision recently. Yeah, what's that slash? He cuts the recruiter right across the chest. Just like that, cold-blooded, he drops the truth bomb. In this life I don't trust a single soul. Solo leveling from here on out. The hero slayer Hirkin is back in business. He logs out, popping the VR capsule. Blinks, his eyes open. He's not home. Looks like a gaming cafe. Or maybe an expo booth. I don't know about you guys, but I live for this trope. That sweet spot where the digital world bleeds into reality. Where that in-game gold pays real-world rent. Hits different right, and then it clicks for Hirkin. 5 years ago, he was broke. Busted. Rock bottom. The only way. He could even get online. Was squatting in these public cafes. Confirmed. Time travel is real. So what's the move? Laser focus. He rips off the headset and sprints for the exit. Man on a mission. He's got 5 years of game knowledge downloaded in his brain. Played right. Revenge is in the bag. No time to waste. Slams his credit card on the counter. Give me the top-tier VR setup. Same-day delivery. My place. Now. The cashier looks at him. Sure thing, sir. But with what funds? She calls him out. Card declined. Broke behavior. His face drops. All that running just to remember he's destitute. Facepalm moment. He forgot the broke loser part of his backstory. Of course, his bank account is empty. If he had cash, he wouldn't be grinding in a public cafe. So what's plan B? Problem. He's got the strat but no rig. Every second he wastes, the rest of the world is leveling up without him. Suddenly a voice blasts through the speakers. What are you waiting for? It's her. Sheer. Preaching that the strong fear nothing. That challenges are nothing and hesitation. That's a luxury you can't afford in war. Conquer your fear. Become a true warlord. World rank #1. The Thunder Queen herself. Hold up, for real. She's been the top dog since day one. Of all people, it had to be this toxic woman. The one person our protagonist wants to zero out more than anyone else. He spins around, eyes locked, and mutters. She's right. No time to hesitate. Cut to his apartment. The VR pod is already installed. The tech guy gives the thumbs up and bounces. Now where'd he get the cash? Obviously, like any upstanding citizen. He hit up a loan shark. But not just any shark, one who specializes in gamers addicted to VR gear. The sketchiest dude alive is sitting right there grinning like, you need 10 million, consider it done. Of course, he punctuates that offer by slamming a knife between the guy's fingers. Miss a payment and your life becomes a living hell. Still, Hirkan takes the deal. He's willing to walk through fire if that's the price of vengeance against those scumbags. He dives straight into the server and the system starts scanning his biometrics. Identity confirmed, Hirkan. Welcome to the world of Warlord. Now that I look at him, this guy is giving major Jack Frost vibes from that animated movie. The ice boy stands there waiting in the lobby. It's been a minute, but she should be showing up any second. If memory serves, her name was Ari. And boom, there's the goddess herself. Chat, the character design for the ladies in this series is next level. She's got this slightly demonic, mysterious aura. She introduces herself as Ariadne and says she's here to guide his career. Probably the most Brazilian-sounding name I've ever seen in a manhwa, by the way. Anyway, moving on. She extends a hand and tells our adventurer to pick one of the starter classes. He's got 3 options. First up, Warrior. Frontline tank's the go-to class for adrenaline junkies. Hirkan knows warriors are solid, he's played them before. But the issue is, they aren't great for solo players. She starts hyping up the cleric class, but he shuts that down instantly. Hard pass. No way is he signing up to play support for other people. She replies, understood. That leaves just one. She wishes him luck on his run. What's left? Probably mage. Wait, the option doesn't even pop up on the screen. But it's implied. Suddenly, an old man appears hovering over a giant book, welcoming the young seeker of knowledge. Name's Golko, and he's the guide to the arcane arts. Gramps starts lecturing about elemental magic types, but Hirkin cuts him off cold. He wants dark magic. That clearly rubs the old guy the wrong way. Golko insists, "You must have misheard. You mean earth magic." "Right, stick to the script." But Hirkin doubles down, he's here for the dark stuff. The elder warns him. "Better think twice, kid. Dark magic is powerful, sure, but it'll shred your soul." Hirkin doesn't even blink. He says he knows the risks, and just wants the power. He knows exactly what build he needs. Instantly, the old man's face twists, morphing and warping until it transforms into a literal skull. "Very well," he rasps. "Haven't seen someone choose this path in ages. If you're truly ready, all you gotta do is place your hand on the skill book." But he drops one last warning. "Choose carefully. This road isn't for the weak." Before he can even finish the sentence, Hirkin has already slammed his hand down. The skull cackles, "Oh, this is gonna be fun." And wow, when I said this gave me solo leveling flashbacks, I didn't realize how accurate that was. In Hirkin's own words, "In my past life, I saw a clip of a necromancer player soloing raid bosses. And right now, for a guy hell-bent on a solo revenge tour, that's exactly the kind of broken meta he needs." Just like that, he's officially a necromancer. Title: Innate Necromancer. Skill unlocked. Skeleton Fragment. He triggers it immediately, and a small skull spawns in his hand. He drops it, and the bones start draining mana, piecing themselves together right in front of him. First, summon successful. I gotta admit I love this part. He looks at the little skeleton, feeds it some mana, and bam, it grows into a big, bony brawler. Hirkan immediately declares it's time to grind. He asks where the training dungeon is. But then he hears a clattering sound behind him, spins around, and the skeleton's head has already fallen off. He just stares at it, wondering how on earth it broke already. As he walks through a portal, face-palming reality hits. Yeah, leveling this class is going to be a nightmare. The skeletons in that video looked terrifying. Why does his look like a goofy, smiling cartoon character? He checks his stats, there it is. Mastery rank F. Right now, the only thing he can summon is a skeleton warrior. He realizes he's nerfed until he gets that mastery up, which means only one thing, it's farming time. Hearing that, low growls creep up from behind a pack of wolves closing in. Just charcoal wolves, absolute trash mobs for training. They're supposed to be weak. For Hirkan, they're the perfect punching bags to test drive his new skeleton minion. He resummons the Bone Boy and orders a full charge. The second it aggroes an enemy, the skeleton shifts into combat mode and lets out a feral roar. Wait, how the hell does a pile of calcium roar without lungs? Whatever logic doesn't apply here. Strictly speaking, it shouldn't even walk without muscles, so we'll slide on the physics. The wolves actually flinch, so Hirkan yells to attack. Bones lunges forward, and hey, not bad. Better performance than the specs suggested. At this rate, Hirkan figures he'll power level in no time, but then reality check. His skeleton gets one-shotted. Poof, turned to dust. Hirkan just stands there stunned that his only unique skill can't even. Solo, the weakest monster in the game. The pile of bones crumbles at his feet like a kicked puppy. Yeah, Hirkan isn't laughing. He stares daggers at the system, UI convinced it's bugged. Then he spots it. He had toggle options, attack mode, defense mode, or special mode. He summons it again, this time locking in defense mode. Problem is, the wolves are already playing fetch with its ribcage. The poor thing can't even form up. Desperate Hirkan flips to special mode, just to see what happens. And the skeleton starts busting out emotes like a Fortnite kid. That's when it hits him that guide video was total clickbait. He picked the absolute worst class. His entire revenge arc is crumbling before it starts. The guy is so done. He tries to rage quit and delete his account. But the system hits him with a wand. Accounts under 3 months. Cannot be deleted error. Meaning he's stuck. No class change, no reroll, no escape. And in real life, loan sharks are still breathing down his neck. At this point, he's almost wishing for another run-in, with a truck just to respawn again, because his luck is garbage. He really thought he caught a break. But this bony minion is useless. Just standing there, clicking and clacking. Hirkan snaps at it to stop twitching. The noise is driving him insane. Suddenly, he recalls a line from the system tooltip. The summon comes equipped with an advanced combat learning AI. Flashback to the wolf fight. His skeleton wasn't just standing there holding its head, it was watching him, analyzing his moves. Hirkan stands up, smirking. Lucky bastard got me as a sensei. He might look like a noob, but people used to call him a genius. Back in his old guild, he was the guy coaching the top-tier rankers. Lesson 1 for the bonehead: in a fight, if you don't dodge, you die. Wham! Hirkan punches it square in the face, sending it flying backward. But the little guy bounces back up, eager only to catch another hook to the jaw, slamming into the wall. Hirkan screams at it to stop tanking hits like an idiot. If you're gonna take a hit, plan a counterattack. Don't just stand there and be a meat shield. He asks if it registers. The skeleton wipes its face, resets its stance, and nods. Cut to the next scene. Round 2 against the wolves. This time the skeleton ducks weaves under a bite and slashes. One across the throat and guts another. Turns out Hirkin isn't just a necromancer, he's a monster trainer. Now the skeleton stands there glowing, looking at him like a proud golden retriever. Hirkin tells it to wipe that grin off. They're still in combat, no time to flex. But he admits that last move was clean. Skeleton fragment proficiency increased. The notification pops up 3 times, both of them glowing gold. Hirkin nods, you passed. Just as the level up hits, the scene transitions to Figgis Castle, the rookie zone. Players are flooding the streets, spamming chat about joining guilds, forming families, and looking for parties for the Spider Forest. Standard noob energy. Hirkin walks through thinking the training montage was worth it. He'll be solo clearing dungeons in no time. But now the real grind starts hitting level 10. Suddenly, he gets checked. Some chubby guy grabs his arm demanding an apology for bumping into him. Hirkin instantly clocks them as low-level thugs. They're shouting and posturing, but he just tunes them out wondering if he should just PK them right here. The guy gets triggered when Hirkin sighs mid-rant and winds up for a punch. But out of nowhere, a blonde dude steps in, blocks the strike, and says, just because the kid bumped you, just because you're swole doesn't mean you can go around playing whack-a-mole with people's heads. This guy is radiating serious solo. Leveling energy reminds me of that American tank, who shows up looking absolutely jacked and ready to rumble. The thug asks if Blondie runs with Hirkin, and he hits him with a flat, nope, but one look at Hirkin's face tells you this newcomer is no joke. The guy's arms are popping with vascularity, and he's giving off this weird, intense pressure. That absolute unit is none other than Shev the Slayer. Sounds kind of Ukrainian, right? He is literally one of the top-ranked warrior class players in the game. Hirkin is racking his brain trying to figure out why a high-tier player is slumming it here. He tries to speak up, but the bully spits on the ground and tells Shev to back off if he's not babysitting the kid, claiming they have unfinished business. Shev, he couldn't care less. He just unzips his aura and instantly the fat guy, and even Hirkin starts shaking like leaves in a storm. Remember, Hirkin has 0 stats right now. Shev decides he needs some payback because the guy just tapped his palm. Disrespectful. Suddenly, one of the minions behind the big guy gasps, wait a minute. That's Shev, the Slayer Guild, Master of Red Bull. That guild is sitting pretty in the top 30. Top 30 might not sound like endgame material, but Shev is famous for being a total battle junkie. Someone tries to ask what a legend is doing in the newbie zone, but Shev only cares about one thing. Are we gonna throw hands or not? The thug folds instantly, stammering out a pathetic apology and sprinting away like his life depends on it. Shev cracks up laughing. This world is awesome. You can solve everything just by running your mouth. He slaps a heavy hand on Hirkin's shoulder and grins. Hey, you little punk, you good. But Hirkin smacks his hand away and walks off, telling him not to bother playing hero. Shev is left standing there scratching his head, wondering why the kid is so icy. Meanwhile, our protagonist is already putting miles between them, getting as far away as possible. For a split second, that overwhelming pressure actually rattled him. He knows it's just because this new body is still rocking base stats, but he swears the next time they cross paths, he'll be on a whole different level. And here we go. Time for a dungeon raid. Just kidding. We cut to him sitting there, looking depressed and shaken. The power gap was absolutely ridiculous. Hirkin and Shev used to be neck and neck back in the day, so obviously if he wants revenge, he needs to get wildly stronger. Right on cue, a flaming rock wolf dives at him from above but out of nowhere. His little skeleton buddy intercepts with a spear, slams the beast into the dirt, finishes it off, and dings a level up. The little guy glows beaming proudly at Hirkin. But Hirkin just grumbles that taking 3 whole days to hit level 10 is way too slow. And just like that, the skeleton deflates, totally heartbroken. At least the system is nice enough to congratulate him. With that, there were no monsters left in the training dungeon. His beginner tag gets officially scrubbed and his starter rewards get transferred over. The War Watch materializes on his wrist, status quests, map inventory messages. The whole HUD is live. Now the guy is hyped. If there is one thing he loves, it's staring at his status window. It's as tragic as he expected. Level 10, Class Necromancer, Strength 3, Stamina 3, Intelligence 5, Mana 5. The system prompts him to distribute his points, but he hesitates. Then he goes full psycho mode. He says a necromancer usually pumps mana and intelligence, but he dumps everything into strength. Boom, strength shoots up by 50 points. Now he's glowing with a red aura, clearly pleased with his life choices. Meanwhile, the skeleton is devastated. The idiot didn't boost mana at all, which means the poor summon isn't getting any stronger. The little bony guy is about to cry. Hirkin bonks him on the head and tells him to snap out of it. He hasn't given up on being a necromancer. What he needs to understand is that right now pumping mana is useless in the early game. Strength makes a way bigger impact for grinding. Plus, he needs raw power to physically teach his old combat skills to the skeleton. The truth is, he's betting everything on the skeleton's ability to learn. And now the little guy lights up again, totally touched. Hirkan orders him back to training. He also knows there are ways to cheat the stat requirements. Over at the Hunters Association in Figus City, some guy is flashing a card shouting that a new quest just dropped. The mob rushes in to grab it. They've been camping out since yesterday. Meanwhile, Hirkan walks right past them, thinking, these quests are trash anyway. It's almost funny watching them fight over scraps. He heads straight for the counter. Yo, got any work? Let me see the list. The dwarf behind the desk replies. Sure, but just so you know, the ones on this table are the Widowmakers. Nobody has the guts to touch them. You sure you're ready for that smoke? But when Hirkan looks, he sees nothing but garbage. Of course, with his future knowledge, he spots the hidden jackpot buried in the pile. Mission in the Bima Mountains. Objective: wipe out every single creature. 10 gold bounty. The old-timer warns him. That quest is trash tier loot, kid. But Hirkan. He smashes that accept button instantly. He knows the meta: clear this mission before level 15, and he unlocks the Prospector title. Titles aren't just for show, they're free stat injections. This one's purely juicing his intelligence and mana. It's a percentage-based boost, baby. The absolute foundation for building a game-breaking OP character. Outside, he mutters about his garbage gear loadout. Cut to the Bima Mountains, and oh my god, the guy is dripping in full clown couture. Polka dot shirt, bunny helmet, bear stompers. Looks like a chaotic custom character I designed just to say bro, that fit is fire. Straight up unhinged, but Hirkan's dying inside. He's rocking the outfit from hell because he's completely broke. Dumped every last coin into his skeleton partner. Is this the loser life? Probably. He needs to speedrun this quest. Gotta secure that payout for actual armor. He's sprinting through the zone, praying to the RNG gods nobody witnesses this fashion disaster. Suddenly, bloody hand shoots out of the brush. Some wrecked dude drags himself out begging for a lifeline. Looks like another party betrayal victim. Meanwhile, pan over to a different sector. Enter player 2, shiny, flashy, expensive armor. Screaming he's ready to wipe the Bima Mountains. Guy's got zero chill and massive main character energy. I'm honestly just gifted at this game. Top ranker material easy. Then a scream. Someone yelling their buddy is down. He rushes in, cape fluttering. Wolf ambush, they cry. Barely made it out. And we're totally out of health pots. You already know the vibes. Poor guy pulls a healing potion, chest puffed out. Don't sweat it, fam. I got you. The kid thanks him, swearing to repay the debt. But mid-sentence, wham, someone flanks him and introduces a mace to his skull. The ambusher grins. Thanks for the donation, buddy. We'll put your gear to good use. The victim. Dazed, stuttering. Why and cowards. But the killer just laughs. You're the idiot who walked into a textbook trap. HP hits 0. Body despawns. His warwatch clatters to the dirt. Man, this game is savage. Full loot drop on death. Brutal. The gang squad starts cackling. Nothing beats the taste of a rich newbie's tears, they sneer. Total sociopaths. One guy is flexing literally 30 stolen watches on his arm. Next victim, meet the Ralph family, the server's trashiest PK guild. Cut back to our boy Hirkan and his bony sidekick throwing hands with wolves in the forest. Graphics are insane, but the enemy design, classic, lazy MMO. You got your wolf, then your blue wolf, red wolf. Just a palette swap. Same mob, different hex code, more HP. Hirkan snaps his fingers, channeling that creepy Hisoka energy, and toggles the skeleton to aggro mode. The bunny helmet beast goes ham, slicing through the undergrowth. Skeleton warrior drops an ancient tree wolf. Ding, 375 XP secured. Hirkan smirks. These wolves are paper thin against his little monster now. Totally worth it. Dumped his whole budget into the pet build. With manly tears he declares. A true gamer ignores the drip. It's all about that min-max efficiency. The skeleton stands there, vibrating with intensity. I think it feels the love. Hirkan yells at it to quit being dramatic. The grind isn't over. But then, twang, a flash of light from the flank. Twack. The skeleton takes an arrow straight to the dome. It just stands there, touching the shaft like, bruh. Did you just headshot me? Here comes the welcoming committee. Yup, the Ralph family. The mage steps up, faking an apology. My bad, thought your pet was a wild mob. Hirkan shrugs. No worries. But he ain't stupid. He clocks the blood-stained weapon and that ridiculous stack of watches on the guy's wrist. He knows exactly who these griefers are. But Hirkan plays it cool. I'll let it slide. On one condition. Hand over a mana potion. The mage lies. Fresh out, buddy. But hey, leveling up refills your bar, right? Let us help you power level instead. Hirkan raises an eyebrow. You sure about that? The mage nods eagerly. Totally. We owe you one. Then oh, look at that convenient timing. Fresh spawn, we'll chip him down. You take the last hit for the XP glory. Deal. Our boy agrees. The second the mage turns around, he whispers the kill order to his squad. Pull aggro first. Bangs guy, buff the wolves. Make him hit hard. Then we break formation, let a mob loose to blindside the kid, and wipe him out. Easy loot. But that plan crumbles instantly. They watch in horror as the skeleton one-shots a wolf into oblivion. Hirkan claps. Clean, kill, dang, you guys are actually great support. Keep it coming. The trio starts sweating. Crap, this guy is mowing down buffed mobs like grass. Time to escalate. They unleash a pack of wolves, hoping the chaos blindsides him while he's focused dead ahead. Meanwhile, the players flank him, swinging a massive club right for his skull. Looks like a guaranteed KO. But Hirkin, he ducks underneath like it's nothing. One fluid slash later, that guy's mask shatters instantly as his body splits clean in half. The other two freeze up. Snap. Hirkin signals, and his skeleton warrior launches. Blue mana blazing, rushing in like a demon, rocking those adorable lion paw boots, by the way. They scream, begging to talk it out, but it's way too late for that. Chests punctured, blood painting the grass. Skelly drops one, Hirkin takes the other, and bodies hit the floor like confetti. Our MC looks down cold as ice. I hate your kind the most. Backstabbing snakes. He admits if this were the old days, their little trick might have actually worked. But not anymore. One guy tries to bargain items for his life, but Hirkin just sighs. Sorry, trust issues. Slash. Throat cut. Player Ralph is eliminated, and 8 more watches hit the dirt. Hirkin pauses. That scumbag had already taken out 8 other players. A total waste. Guess I'll keep the loot. Truly tragic. Meanwhile, the skeleton is casually stomping on a ribcage in the background. Cute on the outside, absolute savage on the inside. Our boy starts wondering why his precious skeleton is acting so wild. He pats its head, transfers some gear, and the little guy instantly lights up. Fully geared up and overflowing with joy, the thing is actually blushing over its new drip. Hirkin lectures him. It's not about looks, it's about stats. Rich coming from the guy who just went full fashionista. The skeleton shoots him a look like, bro, really? We know you care. But Hirkin's too hyped. Those unclaimed war watches are a literal goldmine. See, selling a dead player's watch drops a random item from their inventory. And guess what he pulled? Dark Elf Trousers boosts mana and intelligence, plus an essence of the ancient tree sword. Even more mana buffs. A demonic curse skill book and actual gold. This loot is better than most dungeon raids. Absolute jackpot. And thanks to that haul, he finally snagged exactly what he was hunting for. A creepy, hideous mask. He slaps it on, looking totally ridiculous, and announces that, from now on, he's recording his entire playthrough. Brand identity is key, right? And just then, flashback. He remembers someone else saying that exact same thing. Some guy he talked to about going viral, using a mask as a trademark. They even joked about calling it the Ha-Ho mask. Back to reality. Hirkin says the game has changed. He's done letting people mess with his life, and this mask proves he's going fully solo. Well, kinda solo. He's still rocking with the skeleton. They dive through a portal, entering the Bhima Mountains dungeon. And like I said, look at him. He seriously needs a hide gear option. As soon as possible. Now he's hunting blue werewolves, the basic trash mobs for this zone. But it's definitely no walk in the park. With his new loadout though, he's feeling himself. Another run with the Skelly, and after a few hours the big guy gives a thumbs up. They haven't seen a single monster the entire time. Hirkin clutches his head. This makes zero sense. If someone already cleared the dungeon, he'd have gotten a notification. So, where is everybody? That's when he spots the skeleton hacking away at a wall. He leans in and sees a pitch-black portal. System pop-up, special dungeon discovered. Enter, oh boy, here we go. He's about to walk into a death trap. These Matryoshka dungeons spawning inside others. Usually way harder difficulty, but the loot is god tier. The catch is, once you step inside, you clear it or you die trying. And be real, have you ever seen a main character say, no thanks? Not happening. But even Hirkin hesitates, thinking the smart play is to bail. Death means a 48-hour lockout. That would completely tank his grind. Still, he steps in anyway. Classic. He convinces himself all he has to do is win and he's good. Sunlight hits his face and suddenly he's standing in the middle of a massive coliseum. His gut instantly drops. Something bad is coming. The ground starts quaking. And then, boom, a 3-eyed giant werewolf spawns in front of him. A corrupted creature. It's level. Just question marks. Hirkin definitely knows what that corrupted tag means. But before he can even blink, a claw swipes right at his face. He manages a block, but gets launched. Boom, the poor skeleton gets absolutely yeeted backward, slamming into the wall with a bone-shattering crunch. He barely has a second to reboot his brain, but he's already popping back into a fighting stance. That's grit. Meanwhile, the psycho villain is cackling, wondering how the RNG gods blessed him like this. These corrupted mobs are tied straight to the main quest. Hirkin barks at his bony sidekick. If we don't drop this creep today, nobody's eating dinner tonight. They charge back in. Fastball special. The skeleton launches him like a human catapult, sending him soaring. The werewolf rushes in. Fangs out, ready to chomp, but Hirkin triggers a fresh skill, Curse Infliction. The monster's 3 eyes glaze over like it's totally hypnotized. And our boy, he vanishes into thin air. /1 clean stroke, and the werewolf is suddenly missing an arm. The beast roars in agony as its stats plummet by 10%. Losing a whole limb is a massive debuff. Honestly feels way worse than a 10% nerf. But wait, the freak is regenerating the arm. Okay, that stat penalty. Sounds a lot sweeter right about now. It charges again, fully enraged. Hirkan draws his blade and smirks. Special dungeons are always a grind. I was saving this cooldown for later, but it's go time. He taps his war watch and unlocks a slot. Dark energy explodes outward, swirling into a massive spinning sphere of power. What the heck just happened? Where is all this juice coming from? Our boy just triggered his ultimate form. Check the system, slot on. That's one of Warlord's signature mechanics. When players pop this, they siphon raw energy straight from the game world, hulking out into an overloaded state. The catch: every player's form is different, and you don't get to pick your power up. Because of the insane buff it gives, the community calls it the ultimate mode. The giant werewolf snaps its jaws on empty air. Hirkan dances out of range just in time. The beast can't even touch his hitbox. Hirkan is weaving through attacks like a ninja. Another swipe, he steps back and whispers, "Now this is a boss fight." The power, the speed, the reflexes, he's on another level. But judging by how heavy it feels, he figures he can tank maybe 3 hits max. Time to wrap this up. He goes on the offensive. The monster whines in pain and Hirkan grins. This is what makes the game fun. But suddenly his face drops. The werewolf smashes the ground with a massive shockwave. Oh my god, Hirkan is suspended mid-air facepalming. Muttering, "I forgot the rage phase." But the wolf forgot something too. Look who's back in the chat. The skeleton. It counters hard, ripping the beast's arm right out of the socket. Hirkan screams. To execute the combo they've been practicing, the werewolf flinches, totally stunned, and the duo dives in. Synchronized slashes. Man, gotta love that glowing blue VFX. And this time the damage hits deep. No way it's respawning from that. Honestly, our protagonist is a pretty humble necromancer. I mean, he's only rocking one skeleton. I know I said this might be a solo leveling clone, but he's carving out his own legacy right now. Cue the gamer confetti. Mission accomplished. Bima's cave cleared. He pockets 10 gold. The skeleton gets a rank up fragment for helping drop an elite boss. Rank E, let's go. Hirkan also bags 20,000 gold and the werewolf pelt. Is the economy broken, or what? Plus he snags the corrupt tracker necklace. Plus 18 to all stats, that is busted. It's soulbound. And the rank is chronic, that is tiers above unique guys. He sees the name corrupt tracker and it clicks. He recognizes the lore. Then 3 achievements pop up, promising beginner boosting, intelligence and magic, heroic challenger for that stamina buff, and the corrupt tracker title, effect currently hidden. Hirkan realizes he just stumbled into chapter 1 of the main storyline, the Count of Corruption. The main quest is the spine of Warlord, the foundation of the entire game world. That's why the loot is so insane, and every player is thirsty for a piece of it. It is the core content, the holy grail of grinding. In his past life, Hirkan didn't touch this until chapter 4. Now he's shaking, stunned that he triggered it this early. He grins, realizing he just hit the jackpot, and logs out immediately. Back in real life, the news is playing. The Hydra Guild just officially entered the final chapter of the Count of Corruption and plans to beat it in 3 months. Hirkan stares at the screen, totally devastated. The epic quest he just unlocked. It's already game over. He knows this run is a total wash. Might be time to just rage quit the current strat and prep for the next chapter. But hold up, his expression shifts. Memory unlocked. This disaster, it might actually be a golden ticket. The entire server is thirsting over this storyline right now. The hype train has no brakes. Obviously, nobody wants to sleep on the very first main quest in a game like this. But imagine if a video dropped about this exact mission right this second. It wouldn't just do well, it would break the internet. And since he's been recording everything, the footage is in the bag. He just needs to upload it. Only snag. He needs an editor, and there is only one goat for this job. In his past life, this person was the editing god. The name's Romani. Now I'm gonna be real with you guys, I'm a little confused here. I won't jump the gun and say it's a girl, let's wait for confirmation. Could totally just be a soft boy aesthetic with pink hair. She gets a commission request from some level 15 noob and actually laughs. Yeah, I said she, but again, who knows, those glossy red lips could belong to anyone these days. She assumes it's just some rich kid whale, trying to flex with a montage. But the second she actually watches the raw footage, her face drops. That smirk returns, declaring, this is the exact content she's been hunting for. Meet Romani, in-game handle Hellmouse. Cut to a skyscraper and boom, new challenger approaching. I know that silhouette. You're the Thunder Witch, aren't you? She summons her assistant, demanding the tea on this video. A measly level 15 player, soloed a corrupted werewolf. The guy tries to downplay it, saying the team checked the logs and the wolf was low-tier trash anyway. But she hits him with that icy pout and doubles down. I want him. Bring me that boy. Now. That is definitely her. Chae Yon, the #1 ranked player, and the Thunder Queen herself. Shortly after, Hirkan is losing his mind. The video on his channel, which literally started with 0 subs, just hit 6,000 views. Finally, a story that treats the algorithm realistically. Some manhwas act like a nobody, uploads one clip and wakes up with 70 million subs. Keep dreaming, pal. Hirkan stays humble, noting, "In my past life, grinding to these numbers took me months." Meanwhile, Romani is already sliding into his DMs checking if he saw the analytics. The fact that she messaged first proves she's at least low-key interested. He hits her with a dry, "Yeah, saw it," shutting it down, but she tries to claim the clout typing. "It's insane, right? That's the magic of my editing." She does throw him a bone though, adding, "Granted, your raw footage wasn't garbage either." Cue the red roses visual. Seems like Hirkan assumes Romani is a lady, or maybe that's just the vibe. This world is tricky, fam. He logs off in his capsule. Back in the digital world, she pings him again. When's the next drop? Problem is, he has zero clue what his follow-up act is. You can't just stumble upon a corrupted boss every Tuesday. But you know the drill, gotta strike while the iron is hot. He needs fresh content stat. And look who else is vibing with the masked boys video, Chef the Assassin. The only thing bugging him is that the masked figure triggers a memory. And that's when we meet her. "What's up, Gel Girl?" Member of the Red Bull Guild. She asks him what he's mumbling about. He brings up the masked rookie. She tells him to stop obsessing. But he can't shake the feeling he knows those moves, especially considering he's looped that video a dozen times. Chef admits he knows it sounds crazy, but something is off. He's onto something. Look, when newbies start this game, they hesitate. Movement is stiff. They don't flow like they do in real life. But this kid, he moved like a pro esports athlete. Even his summons looked scripted. He keeps rambling until Gel shuts him down. "Okay, I get it. Can you zip it for a sec?" She shoves him, reminding him they go live in 5 minutes. He spins around, telling her he appreciates the love. She just rolls her eyes, classic tsundere move, and tells him to get out there and put on a show. The arena is absolutely packed. Over 200,000 people bought tickets. 200K. For real. All that, just to watch Chef, the leader of Red Bull. He better watch his back. That name has got to be trademarked. The gates are about to breach. Armor up. 3, 2, 1. He screams at his squad and launches them into the fray. Meanwhile, back in Figus, our boy is feeling the despair again. The quest he wanted is gone. Poof. All that's left is grunt work, like purifying, corrupted, soil, or hunting 3 wolves that wandered into town. Boring. He needs a banger. Something worth hitting the record button for. Suddenly, the old NPC steps up. Well, if it isn't the adventurer who took the quest from. "Yo, Hirkan. Name's Jothan. Need you in the private room for a minute. Serious talk." Jothan drops the bomb immediately. He knows everything. He knows Hirkan was the one who stumbled upon that twisted mutant deep inside the mine shaft. Hirkan flinches, racking his brain. He definitely doesn't remember triggering any secret event or hidden interaction like this, but he plays it cool and owns it. "Yeah, I saw the werewolf. The one with the crazy eyes." Jothan nods, looking grim. "Just as I suspected. Odds are you ran into a beast exposed to corrupted power. We're still in the dark about what these things actually are. But one thing is crystal clear. Something is infecting the monsters, driving them absolutely insane. And it's slaughtering adventurers left and right." Jothan's about to ask for help, but Hirkan cuts him off, grabbing his arm and going full Hollywood drama mode. "Count on me. I'll give everything I have for this country. I love this nation. And I will wipe out these terrible creatures." Yeah, he is totally overacting just to snag that secret quest. Jothan hesitates, saying it might be too early for such a heavy burden, but Hirkan doubles down. "No way, actually. The timing is perfect. Waiting just means more bodies pile up." Jothan finally caves. If the kid feels that strongly, he'll give him a shot and see if he's got the skills to back up the talk. There's a guy named Ajimbre living in Van's castle, way out east of Figus. Jothan hands over a recommendation letter so Hirkan can go pick that guy's brain for knowledge. The item pops up instantly, teachings of Ajimbre. All he has to do is track the guy down and hand over the letter. Not even a second later, Hirkan's screaming. He's on his way. The dude is hyped. It looks like he knows exactly who Ajimbre is and is dying to become his student. See, Ajimbre is one of the 7 disciples of the legendary Archmage Vorkan. We're talking about a famous NPC that every mage dreams of meeting, because training under him means a shot at unlocking some of the most broken, top-tier skills in the game. Hirkan's literally skipping away, ready to roll, but suddenly freezes. Wait, he almost forgot he needs to handle some business first. Cut to the forest. He casts the summon, and boom, skeletons here. Turns out Hirkan still had some sweet loot left over from the last brawl. First, he grabs that werewolf skull he didn't sell. The system prompts him. Use this to buff the skeleton. He hits accept. The skull instantly materializes on the bony guy's head, instantly boosting his stamina by 2 points. Nice. At the same time, he pulls out the corrupted tracker's necklace and slaps it on. Boom, all attributes plus 18, plus some sweet class bonuses on top. Prep complete. Now he whips out 2 more skeleton fragments and tosses them to the ground. Pow, 2 more skeletons rise up, but these guys are totally separate from the OG. You know, no matching outfits or gear. And for some reason, his first skeleton looks absolutely crushed now that he's not the only child anymore. Poor guy, probably thought he was special. Hirkin tells him to suck it up. From now on, they're fighting as a trio. Yikes. Our main character really just betrayed his bony buddy. The little guy just wanted to be the one and only. Back to the action. A giant level 25 forest beast comes charging in with a massive swipe. Hirkin, thanks to that stat boost he grabbed earlier, dodges like it's nothing. For a second he looks surprised like he's about to tank a hit, but nah, it's all part of the plan. His skeleton charges in from above, except this bone bag looks kinda weak honestly. Takes a smack right to the face and goes flying. Hirkin is fuming. This idiot, he still doesn't get blind spots. Skeleton dives back in only to catch an even harder slap, and gets yeeted across the field. Hirkin's thinking, why did the second moron just copy exactly what the first one did? Aren't they supposed to learn from each other? Meanwhile, the legendary skeleton steps up all proud like it's his time to shine. And weirdly, Hirkin actually blushes. He goes in with full swagger. Sure, this is the one, but nope. Takes a nasty shot to the dome and his skull. Goes airborne. Now Hirkin is boiling with rage. You idiots, he screams. They're all just standing there holding their heads like, ouch. Hirkin wants to know if they even have brains. Well, technically no, but still, how long is it gonna take? For them to figure out you can't just face tank hits in a fight. They should at least be smart enough to reposition when they're about to get wrecked. If one distracts the enemy, the others should hit the blind spot. But clearly, the skeletons are just standing there like, bro, what's a blind spot? Hirkin is visibly disappointed. He really thought leveling up. Equipping the necklace was supposed to be a cheat code for control, but juggling a trio of skeletons, it is arguably a bigger nightmare than before. Combat proficiency is not the issue. Thanks to the hive mind mechanic, whatever the first bonehead learns, the others instantly download. The glitch in the system, he has only programmed them for solo skirmishes, so they have 0 squad synergy. And the kicker, keeping these 3 active burns through his mana 3 times faster. The ROI is abysmal. He dusts himself off and sighs. Fine, you guys hit level 20. Target acquired, but the cameras stay off today. He barks at his bone squad to mobilize boot camp, continues all the way to Van's castle. Watching the skeletons shamble forward like drunk toddlers, he questions his own sanity. Why did he ever think he could just go away from keyboard and let the minions grind for him? Sadly, that cozy dream of a summon and chill necromancer lifestyle is officially dead. Cut to Van's castle. The local tavern is popping. A guy struts in from the hall and the crowd lights up like it is Christmas. They are swarming him, clamoring for attention. Watching from the entrance, Hirkin sneers. Scavengers, the lot of them. 0 effort noobs looking for a carry. They are leeches, exactly the breed of player he despises most. Some bald dude slides up pitching a sweet quest opportunity. Hirkin tells him to take a hike. Sheesh, savage. Ignoring the shock, he heads for the stairs. He flashes Jotun's recommendation letter like a VIP pass. The bouncer nods, 2nd floor access granted. While the plebes beg for entry and get shut down, our boy breezes past the velvet rope without a care. The hype is real. He is dying to see what kind of loot a Himbri is about to drop, especially since this is not just a secret quest. It is a golden ticket to build rep with a legendary NPC. But the moment he steps inside, total disaster zone. Books trashed everywhere, absolute chaos. Who goes there? A voice croaks from behind a book tower. A Himbri pops up demanding to know why this kid is crashing his pad. The mage has 0 recollection of scheduling an appointment. Hirkin is shook. He did not expect a top-tier legend to be a hoarder. Still, he keeps his cool and introduces himself. Dropping Jotan's name works. A Himbri scans him. Well, for a low-level scrub, you actually seem decent. Black magician class, huh? Alright, since you trekked all the way here, take your loot. Boom. 2 skill books, bone armor and madness helm. Hirkin is glowing, practically tearing up with joy as he bows in gratitude. But a Himbri waves him off like a fly. That is it. Quest clear now. Get out. Hold up, that was not the plan. He is here to grind rep, not just grab loot. He needs a quest chain. He pushes back, dodging, floating books like Neo, swearing he is down for whatever. A Himbri spins around. Whatever you say. Alright, then he grins, looking way too pleased. Cue the notification. New quest acquired, the nest egg. Reward literally 0. Zilch. Realization hits hard. He walked right into that old geezer's trap. Cut to outside the building, where some dude struts past in armor that screams pay to win. The crowd freezes. That gear is clearly god tier and costs a fortune. The guy scans the area, spotting the location. So he mutters, this is where the Haho mask is hiding. Slam. The door shuts behind Hirkin. Kicked to the curb. He cannot believe it, he actually got scammed by a damn NPC. He thought he was unlocking a god tier main scenario quest line. Instead, he is stuck egg hunting for free labor. He stomps away, practically sobbing, when suddenly someone blocks his path, demanding to know what quest he just pulled. Oh wait, it is not just someone. It is that pack of desperate beggars again. Hirkin is about to go nuclear when a voice booms out of my way. It is the whale in the fancy armor, shoving the crowd aside. He beelines straight for Hirkin. Got a minute for a serious talk. If I had to bet $1,000,000 that is the same guy from earlier. The headhunter sheer sent the one with the butler vibes. Hirkan is not in the mood, but the suit cuts in. The Haho mask wearer would be wise to listen. They duck into an alley. The suit apologizes. Sorry for the drama, but that mosh pit back there was not exactly secure. Fair point. But I know exactly who this bastard is and what he is after. Hirkan might be clueless right now, but the plot is about to thicken. Hirkan instantly clocks the armor. That is some serious high-tier gear. Clearly this guy is a big shot, but his identity, a total mystery. What's spookier is how much he knows. The stranger cuts the small talk. Are you the one they call the Haho mask? Hirkan hits the brakes and plays the fool. He slaps on a confused face. Mask bro, what kind of nonsense are you spitting? I followed you into this shady alley for a chill chat, not to get grilled about some cosplay drama. Four Eyes doesn't blink. Word on the street is you snagged a quest from an NPC named Ahimbre. Hirkan snaps back, voice ice cold. I ain't here to trade wikis with you. Dragging me into a dark alley. You're crossing a line. If you're looking for a scrap, say it with your chest. Put your account on the line, and let's dance. Truth is, Hirkan is putting on an Oscar-worthy performance, baiting the guy into thinking he's clueless. The suit studies him for a beat, then plot twist, he bows his head. My apologies. Boom. Hook, line, and sinker. Hirkan shakes the guy's hand, keeping it breezy. Hey, no sweat. Just don't weird me out next time, alright? As he turns to leave, he drops a final warning. I'll let it slide today, but quit hunting for trouble. Glasses stays silent. Suddenly, a tall, menacing shadow materializes next to him. Enter Mystery Woman. I doubt that's our target, she murmurs. The guy nods. Agreed. Impossible. The Haho mask is a pro. No vet in their right mind shakes hands with their watch arm. That is Warrior 101. Plus, did you see him wipe his palm after, like I was diseased? Total rookie move. The girl who honestly deserves way more screen time from the artist asks, do we keep eyes on Ahimbra? He nods. The nest egg mission is high stakes. We can't afford any slip-ups. Before we can even admire her character design, she vanishes into the shadows. But guess what? Hirkan caught the whole show. Now, he is 100% certain these two are Black Ops, secret society vibes. If they were a public guild or glory hunters, they would have flexed their badges. This screams undercover. So who the hell are they? Back in the forest while his bony boys grind XP, Hirkan's brain is running overtime. He is deep in thought, convinced he is missing a puzzle piece. The math isn't mathing. It is the egg quest and his viral video. Those creeps weren't hunting the Haho mask. They were hunting the guy who triggered the event, which means he is forced to run the quest with eyes on his back. Just great. So much for laying low. Dealing with Seol Yong was headache enough without adding secret agents to the mix. Speaking of the Ice Queen, cut to her office. Secretary Park Suji strolls in, hyping up her boss's performance today. How'd the tryouts go? Suji asks. Seol Yong growls, looking ready to murder someone. Total dumpster fire. Nothing but trash players. How is every single applicant this useless? Suji drops the bomb. What about Mask Boy? Maybe he ghosted us for another guild. Crash. Seol Yong smashes a bottle against the wall. Rage mode activated. Find out who stole him. We're looking into it, Suji stammers. I don't care, get me a name now, Seol Yong barks. And what does the chairman think? Suji shrugs. Radio silence. Seol Yong scoffs. Of course, as long as Warlord prints money, he keeps his mouth shut. Apparently, the old man tried to force an arranged marriage on her, until she leveraged the game to escape. Classic rich girl drama. Then out of nowhere, Suji starts ogling her boss. Damn, look at those curves. Okay, didn't see that coming. It is a mess, but it seems the big boss upstairs has a soft spot for her. Honestly, I am lost. All I know is she is a 10 and our boy Hirkan just wants to stack bodies. Priorities. Back to the grind. Hirkan stares at his reflection in the water. Been a minute since I've been down here. The Lizard Man Swamp. Since Ahimbre hangs out at Bang's castle, the quest has to be local. And since we are talking about an egg, the target has got to be a bird, a reptile, or a bug. Being a low-level scrub for now, he needs a zone he can actually survive. Process of elimination points to the reptile swamp. He summons his skeleton warrior. It is go time. Listen up, bonehead, he warns the summon. Mobs here are no joke. High-level territory. Time to bust out that new buff skill. You know, the wild one where you have to physically tag your minion. I still don't get the mechanics, but whatever. He tags the skeleton, triggers the power, and boom. The egg, embedded in the skeleton's skull, suddenly flares up with a crimson glow. The undead minion actually looks hyped, and honestly, the visual effect is pure fire. Time for a stress test. Hirkan orders the bag of bones to strike, but hold up, there's a massive catch to this power. This skill comes with a nasty side effect, total loss of sanity. And since Murphy's Law is the only law that matters here, things go south instantly. The skeleton lunges straight for his throat. Herkin clocks the glitch immediately and delivers a savage uppercut that sends the bony scrub flying like Team Rocket blasting off again. Poor guy gets launched into orbit. Herkin yells at the pile of bones to chill out while wondering if this ability is just completely broken. Is this a bug? Because that strength buff looked pretty mid. Honestly, the whole skill feels like a total scam right now. But he can't dwell on the bad stats because a level 30 Lizardman tries to jump him from behind. Actually, this is the perfect opportunity for a proper field test. He pops another Madness mark and suits up in his bone armor for that extra stat boost. Suddenly, his summons start shrieking like absolute banshees. While the Lizardmen are frozen in confusion, Herkin gives the green light, it's go time. Boom, it's a chaotic 3-on-3 brawl. But the skeletons are smarter now. They flank the blind spots and slice through the enemies with surgical precision. His minions wipe the floor with 3 Lizardmen. That's a sweet 864 XP drop, boosting him up 2 whole levels. The skeletons bend the knee to their master, and Herkin nods. Okay, yeah, this build actually slaps. The grind plan for the week is set farm mobs power level and hunt down that mysterious egg. But of course, while he's strategizing, a shady woman is lurking in the shadows, licking her lips. Why is this game full of walking red flags? She steps out and introduces herself as Elia, fully convinced she's the main character. In her head, she's drop-dead gorgeous. She thinks she doesn't even need to speak. Everyone just simps for her and obeys her every command. Any problem she has, she just snaps her fingers for a slave to fix. But then reality hits. She trips over some moss and faceplants hard. Now she's lying in the dirt, dazed, wondering what level of hell this is, and regretting all her life choices. Apparently one of her simps dragged her out here for some totally dumb reason. That guy got clapped immediately like a total noob. Now she's stranded in a zone way above her level. Her pretty face won't save her from these mobs. That's when she spots Herkin nearby. She immediately rips her own clothes to stage the perfect damsel in distress scene. Herkin hears a weird shriek and turns around. He sees this girl stumbling toward him looking like a total hot mess. She puts on the charm, pouting about a twisted ankle. She blames the scary monsters, convinced there's no way this guy can resist her top-tier visuals. And Herkin just walks right past her. Complete cold shoulder. She stands there absolutely shook. Did he really just ignore her? She starts chasing him, begging Mr. Necromancer for help, while Herkin is already rolling his eyes internally. Great, another psycho. Meanwhile, the girl is raging so hard she nearly bites through her lip. She can't believe this loser has the nerve to ghost her. All while Herkin's skeletons are busy wrecking mobs in the background. Herkin facepalms as the crazy lady keeps tailing him, whining about how she's totally going to die. She's laying it on thick about survival. He tries to give her the invisible treatment, but she's practically glued to him. She's literally throwing herself at his feet. Everywhere he turns, she's right there begging. What really ticks him off is that players like her even exist in this hardcore game. If she's just going to rely on being carried, she's useless. He decides to shut her up, spinning around to confront her. He asks what she wants. Switching back to the innocent act, she whimpers, I dropped my precious sword in that swamp back there. Can you please get it for me? Our guy, cold as ice, gives her an ultimatum. I get that damn sword and then you vanish. Deal. She desperately agrees, swearing she'll be forever grateful. But behind that smile, she's got those psycho eyes again, whispering to herself that he fell right into her trap. Boom. There's the sword planted right in the center of that tiny island. She was busy thanking him, but he just cut her off, reminding her to get lost. He commands his bony boys to retrieve the loot. They immediately stack up, forming a makeshift trampoline to launch themselves over. Meanwhile, she's just lingering in the back, flashing this super sinister grin. Turns out she was camping for this exact moment, waiting for his summons to leave his side so she could strike. She swings for the back of his head, shouting, "That's what you get for ignoring a total beauty like me." But before her fist can even connect, he spins around instantly. Too slow. He snatches her by the throat and yeets her straight into the murky swamp waters. She's screaming, calling him a bastard, swearing that once she gets out, she's gonna send. She turns her head, and bam. Lizardmen spawn out of nowhere and start absolutely demolishing her. Herkin, looking totally unbothered, tells her if she wants to scam him, she better come up with a better script. He's done with getting played by snakes like her. He turns his back, muttering that this whole drama was just a massive waste of time. He signals the skeletons to move out, but when he glances back, those boneheads are actually trying to mimic her cute charm pose. All 3 get bonked on the head for that nonsense. He scolds them to stop picking up weird habits. Right then, a system notification pops up. Player Ilya has died. He's thrilled. He didn't expect any XP or points since technically he wasn't the one who finished her off. He recalls her warning to watch his back and finds it hilarious, like she actually had backup, but sure enough, some simps watched her video and started stalking him. Cut to the next scene, boom, he's already stabbing the first guy. They claim he's Ilya's nemesis, and they're here for revenge. Herc just looks at him and goes, "Bro, let me ask you something. Why go this hard for her? It's not like she's ever gonna date you. So, why bother? The chubby dude starts laughing like a total maniac and screams, because I love her. Herkin shuts him down immediately. Yeah, you're a creep. Then he flashes back to all the insane stunts that Psycho Girl pulled. Obviously, after he tossed her into the swamp, she vowed to end him. He didn't think she'd actually start a crusade and send an army to hunt him down, but she did. She even posted a sob story video, claiming, the cruel swamp necromancer murdered her. Since then, he's been hounded by her self-proclaimed knights, which naturally just makes his life a nightmare. He was already stressed about those shady alley stalkers trailing him, and now he has to deal with these simps too. He starts wondering if he should just track that girl down and kill her again, just to make this headache worth it. But after looting another dropped watch, he figures, nah, not worth the effort. He scores 5,000 gold and a goblin boot. Plus, he snags a special rare accessory, the Necklace of Promise. That item alone is worth 800,000. That is a total game changer. That girl was actually a gold mine. While he's kissing the watch like it's a long-lost treasure, someone shouts that they found Ilya's enemy. Herkin, brimming with confidence, replies, yup, I'm the bastard who took out that trash. Suddenly, reality hits him. There are like 30 people, lined up right in front of him. Now he feels the heat. He knows he can't take on a mob that size. Time to bail. Glancing back, he wonders how on earth that lunatic managed to rally so many obsessed weirdos. He spins around and sends his skeleton squad to stall the mob. Obviously, the crowd thinks this is going to be a cakewalk. I mean, skeletons are just basic necromancer fodder, right? But it turns out to be even easier than they thought, because the chubby guy screams something about the power of love and snaps them in half. It's not even a real skill. The guy is just unhinged. Since the game has only been out for 10 months and Herkin started just a few weeks ago, most of the players hunting him are way higher level. After a long chase, he finally finds a quiet corner deep in the swamp. With his stats still so low, retreating is his only real play. But then he spots something weird. Where the heck is he? A purple-tinted swamp. He's never seen this zone before, not even in his previous life. Suddenly his eyes light up. He's got a plan. Cut to the wannabe Avengers, wandering through the woods hunting for him. When the chubby guy spots the skeletons, they're just standing there doing a silly little dance. The group is boiling with rage. Not only did this bastard kill Ilya, but now he's trolling them. The chubby guy charges in, screaming that he won't forgive him this time. But right in the middle of his dramatic attack, something surges up from the lake and interrupts the whole show. Before he can even blink, he's lunch, snapped up and gulped down in one go. The rest of the squad freezes. They know exactly what that nightmare is. A corrupt lizard. We're talking the big bad of the whole zone, a level 40 monstrosity. And naturally, Herkin is just chilling on the sidelines watching the carnage. He never guessed the loot he was hunting was actually inside that beast's crib. The stats on this thing are insane, god-tier defense, and a health bar that never ends. You usually need a full 20-man raid team near level 40 just to scratch it, just to stand a fighting chance. But wait, Herkin remembers checking the forums. This thing was supposed to be dead, farmed just recently. It shouldn't even have spawned yet. If it's stomping around now, that means someone triggered a specific event, which confirms his quest objective is definitely inside. And while those poor suckers are getting slaughtered, he's leaning against a sapling, piecing it together. If a Himbra sent him into this death trap, that twisted NPC actually thought he could solo this at level 20. Seriously, the guy's delusional if he thought Herkin had a prayer of surviving. Still, luck was on his side. He snagged himself some meat shields, so this might just work. Cue the panic screaming from the Otaku squad. Even they realize they're out of their league. One guy tries to call for a retreat, but Herkin shuts that down instantly. No way, we're not done yet. He summons his skeleton warriors behind the group, locking eyes with the marked players. The nerds realize they're boxed in. One of them shouts to smash through the blockade. Right before the lizard's tail connects, Wham sends him flying like a rag doll. That's the moment Hope leaves the building. Skeletons blocking the exit monster closing in. And just then, they spot Herkin slipping away into the shadows. Our anti-hero offers a silent thank you. Perfect timing, guys. Thanks for the distraction. He promises not to forget their noble sacrifice, as long as they keep that beast busy for a few more seconds. The sneaky bastard dashes straight for the unguarded nest. He slides inside, smooth sailing, scanning for the egg. But wait, the loot isn't there. He's tearing the place apart. Where the hell is it? Eyes darting everywhere until bingo. He spots a weird little purple stone. He basically just grabbed the sketchiest looking thing in the pile. Only catch, it looks way more like a rock than an egg. Suddenly, a system alert pops up. Skeleton warrior destroyed. That's his cue. The boss is done playing with its food, and it's coming back home. Time to bounce. Crash. The entrance to the nest starts crumbling. Meanwhile, Herkin is ghosting out of there, staying low and quiet. The boss is back, so looting time is officially over. He decides to just turn in this rock and claim. It's the egg, even if it's bogus. Who cares? The quest reward was practically worthless anyway. Back in the swamp, those smelly otakus are face down in the dirt. Suddenly, footsteps. It's Hirkin strolling back in. He starts lecturing them about the beauty of Warlord, how the freedom of the game allows creeps like them to exist. One guy tries to protest but jokes on him. Hirkin already swiped his war watch. Our boy drops some truth bombs. He only let them run wild because he found it entertaining. But playtime's over. He's got real business to handle. If they ever come for him again, they won't get off. This easy. The guy is shaking in his boots while Hirkin walks away seething. He mutters under his breath, if those clowns keep chasing him, it's total war. But for now, time to get paid. He pings the Vans Guild, leaking the info that he spotted the lizard dragon in the swamp, selling the coordinates for a cool 100,000 gold. Later, at Ahimbra's office, he drops the loot on the desk. Here's that egg you wanted. 100% authentic. He's sweating a bit, hoping the NPC doesn't call his bluff. Ahimbra stares at the stone like it's the Holy Grail. Then he speaks up. This is exactly what I needed. Solid work, kid. Hirkin internally fist pumps. Talk about lucky. Then Ahimbra adds a jab he thought a weakling like Hirkin would take forever to pull this off. That's when it clicks. This scumbag always knew Hirkin was underleveled and useless, but sent him to die anyway. Hirkin plays it cool, saying he gave it 110%, but now he's ready for the next quest with a proper payout, of course. Ahimbra ignores that. Do you even know what this is? He explains that whenever they find mutated monsters, they find one of these. They call it the Corruption Stone. Instantly, Hirkin's brain starts firing. That mysterious knight, that freakishly tall girl, the ones hiding their true power level, they were definitely hunting for this. The Corruption Stone isn't junk loot, it's a key item for the main quest line. And you just know these two are thirsty for that item, ready to snatch it up no matter who triggered the quest first. He was convinced he got played, thinking the item was total trash just because the payout was peanuts. Never in a million years did he guess he stumbled into the main scenario. That's when Ahimbri drops a sudden apology. The mage knew he was throwing the kid into the deep end against an unknown beast, but hey, he needed to vibe check his strength. So now he hits him with the big question. Was he actually ready to square up against the corruption? Hirkin might be squishy, but his mental game is strong. He sees a golden ticket. No hesitation, he thumps his chest and pledges to give his heart and soul. But Ahimbri puts a hand up like, hold your horses, instantly shatters the kid's hype. The guy keeps talking, saying he should have already realized how insanely OP those creatures actually are. Someone as weak as him, hard stuck at level 20, completely useless. He's bringing zero value to the table. Our boy tries to stutter out a defense I, but he gets cut off immediately. It's fine, just repeat after me. Oh great wizard Ahimbri, master of all mages, please let me be your disciple and I will serve you. Look at this ego trip making him beg and simp just to clear the quest. The door slams shut, mission complete, and he unlocks the disciple title. I mean, yeah, he had to swallow his pride. What else could he do? Stuck holding that card while this guy acts like he's Lloyd Frontera or something. Of course, the sadistic jerk spent 30 minutes making him repeat that cringe line over and over. Our boy is dying to just turn around and deck him. Cut to the swamp, the giant lizard boss has just been taken down. The knights are popping off because their guild finally bagged a monster actually worth the grind. Suddenly, a dark-haired dude comes rushing in, shouting that the boss was way tankier than the wiki said. And yup, it's the four-eyed bastard. He pushes up his glasses like an anime villain and says no sweat, they provided decent support. Still, he insists that if it was just their guild alone, it would have been a total party wipe. He tosses them a small pouch, probably filled with coins. He claims it's not much, just a little token of appreciation. But the guild guy claps back, that's not the reward they were promised. They say they'd be cool with it, but Four Eyes doubles down. He's a stickler for the rules, no cutting corners. The guild leader is confused. He thought this guy was just some mercenary looking for gold or loot. It seemed sus that someone this high level would even get involved. So who is this guy? Really glasses guy turns to leave, dropping a bombshell. That he's claiming everything inside the nest. The guildies try to tell him it's empty, that the boss already dropped the loot, and they already scooped it up. Meanwhile, he's thinking he hit the jackpot. Never thought snagging a corruption stone would be such a piece of cake. The second he heard the monster respawned, he figured that masked weirdo messed up. Since the lizard was still kicking, it meant the item was still up for grabs, and the kid failed the quest. Logic checks out. He struts into the nest with pure main character energy, thinking some jobs just can't be done solo. Now all he had to do was swipe the stone, and the masked guy would be permanently blocked from finishing his mission. Obviously, he searches the place and finds zip. 0. He screams at the sky, raging that the bastard must have ninja looted the item. Cut to our boy looking hyper-focused, declaring that it's finally time, after days of pure suffering, telling himself that if he just grinded a little longer, it would pay off. Payday is finally here. Time to stop begging for instant noodles and finally eat a real steak dinner. He spins around doing a victory lap. Talk about surviving on a junk food diet. But now that he secured 100,000 gold, he can live large. That 100,000 gold converts to a massive 1,200,000 won. But the second the cash hits his bank, it starts draining. instantly plummeting all the way down to 856 won. He has no clue what hit him, but the Korean billing system is absolutely savage. Reality hits him like a truck, there's no way he catches a break. Right then, a DM slides in from Romeni, his editor, asking if he's even alive, or if he rage quit being a YouTuber. Poor guy, totally forgot that crazy woman existed. The problem is, he can't record content while getting griefed by that stalker and being stuck farming for an entire week. He is absolutely salty at her and the glasses guy for ruining his vibe. That's why the channel has been dead. But he decides, screw those two. He's just an innocent gamer trying to enjoy the grind. He's gonna make that paper his own way. Scene shifts to a graveyard. He rolls up with his skeleton squad. Perfect setting, he's entered the Dead Forest dungeon. Here he goes again with that goofy mask muttering that no matter how many times he runs this dungeon, it still gives him the creeps. But right now, it's the ultimate XP farm. Plus, it's going to bring in a ton of views, especially with the strat he's cooking up. He summons the skeletons and tells them to suit up. It's hunting season. But first, they've got a new recruit joining the team. It's all part of the meta now. Check this guy out, skinny, clumsy, sporting a weird rusty red hue. We just need him to play nice with the others. It's a skill gifted by that dirtbag Ajimbra. Catch, it guzzles mana like a gas-guzzling truck. Still, he tells the squad to gear up. It's hunting season. But right then, boom, the ground erupts. A mob of level 33 skeletons spawns. Hirkan's own squad freezes, looking around like, yo fam, are these our cousins? They are completely shook, staring at the enemies. Like, is this for real? Hirkan barks out the attack order, but his skeletons are just pointing at each other like that Spider-Man meme. You want us to whack our own kind? He has to spell it out. Listen up, once fists start flying, you'll see they ain't on the guest list. Plot twist though, his bony boys are crouching down, rattling with fear. Our boy cracks his knuckles and hypes them up. Hesitation is for losers. We need those levels. Finally, the first skeleton dives in, clean slice enemy down. But these zombie nightmares keep attacking even when they're in pieces. Hirkan's skeleton panics and our MC steps in. Standard hits won't cut it, genius. He whips out the mage hammer, and POW pulverizes it into bone dust. Take notes. But his squad is just standing there, clutching their skulls in shock. He snaps, playtime's over. The quota is 100 kills in 100 minutes. Miss the mark, and I'm leaving you stranded. Boom, they sprint off, literally crying tears of bone marrow. Ding ding status screens start popping off. Enemy down. Your skeleton leveled up. You leveled up. The poor guys are still farming through the tears. Our boy grins. Thought they'd need more training wheels. But honestly, they're crushing it. This footage is viral gold. Romeni is gonna flip when he sees this. Suddenly boss music starts. A massive level 35 warrior steps up. And yup, another rare spawn glitching into the game where it shouldn't be. Instead of panicking, he sees dollar signs. XP jackpot. Eyes glowing gold, he charges head first. This is his ticket to a paycheck, and finally ordering some real food. But mid-sprint, whoosh, a giant axe splits the air. He dodges by a pixel as the ground shatters. Realizes he almost got deleted without landing a single hit. But hey, he managed to snap the monster's arm. Second, swing incoming. But he's chill now. Why? The cavalry arrived. His squad is swarming the beast. Monsters getting diced up from all angles. The synchronization, chef's kiss. Look at that pose. 4 skellies lined up behind him dropping a military salute. Squad goals. He thinks it's a wrap. Rookie mistake. The boss flanks him from behind. It's a setup. He spins around. Little monster has zero chill. He prepped a fireball earlier, now it's prime time. Boom, backshot. The poor boss takes the hit, and the elite warrior finally crumbles. Good game. Watching the bonfire, he's calculating the clout. That's 10,000 views minimum. Although the smell of barbecue is making him hangry. Lunch break. Nope. The grind never stops. The region boss felt his minion drop. Now he's locking onto the intruders like a heat-seeking missile. Massive magic circle opens up on the ground. The boss is spawning in. Damn, this skeleton has drip. Look great in the collection, but he clearly woke up on the wrong side of the grave. Golden skeleton. Level 40. The head honcho of the Forest of the Dead. Also the first mage-type boss player's face. His title, the Rookie Killer. Flashbacks hitting hard right now. Summon condition, mass genocide of skeletons. He's not sure if he can win, but the loot potential, astronomical. Confidence level 100. Just gotta buff the boys and swarm him. Turns around, empty space. Mana tank dry. Skeletons despawned. He can practically see them waving by Felicia and laughing. Realization hits. Yeah, that was a smooth brain move. 4 summons, plus a mega fireball. Yeah, of course, his mana gauge is sitting on empty. No backup plan. It's been a minute, but time to handle business personally. Self-buff activate, his aura blazes to life. The boss skeleton squares up, and Hirkan says, "Alright, let's dance." He charges. A magic circle lights up on the monster's back. Literal laser rain incoming. He pushes through the barrage, but then total shock hits him. One direct hit, that's an instant KO. his entire health bar would vanish in a heartbeat. If that wretched thing keeps blasting him with that kind of firepower, closing the gap is impossible. There's zero way to win this defensive game. Priority number 1, shut down that casting animation before it even starts. Wham! He drives his hammer straight into the monster's hand. Perfect aim. The strike shatters the glowing magic circle into 1,000,000 pixels. He mutters to himself, he knows the mechanics. Those hands are the trigger for every single special attack. The winning strat, smash every hand this boss has. The skeleton actually looks stunned that he figured out the gimmick. Suddenly, a system alert pops up. The region boss is watching you. The creature locks eyes with him, piercing right through his soul, and starts analyzing his power level. Then, boom, new phase. Ominous purple energy starts swirling behind its back. Hirkan scrambles to process the shift when a massive star manifests overhead. Are you kidding me? This monster is charging up a literal energy beam. Panic mode engaged. He bolts. He's never seen this attack pattern before. What is even happening right now? He sprints, desperately trying to juke the blast, but the beam tracks him. Boom, it sends him flying like a ragdoll. He has absolutely no clue why this boss, which he's farmed multiple times, suddenly has a completely brand new moveset. The terrain is absolutely wrecked, leaving behind nothing but a glowing toxic purple pool. He racks his brain searching his memory banks. As far as he knows, this isn't the kind of boss that hides secret patterns or adapts its AI to the player. And since it's an early game boss, he didn't exactly have a fresh strategy prepared. No skeleton summons, zero clue on the attack patterns. How is he supposed to take down this behemoth? Another laser fires. He decides to just wing it, do the best he can with the loadout he's got. He weaves through the attacks trying to close the gap, but here's the issue: every time he steps into range of a locked-on laser, he's forced to pivot instantly. Zero time to counter. He starts wondering where on earth this creature's blind spot is hiding. But then, disaster. He missteps and stumbles. Oh snap, the skeleton snatches him up. It looks like it's going in for a bite, but instead, it holds him right up to its maw, and a glowing magic circle charges up in its throat. Big mistake. Hirkan smirks. He's got a few cards up his sleeve too. He casts Demon's Curse right in its face. That debuffs the monster's stats by 13%, enough for him to break free and launch himself straight at its forehead. He was wondering how to land the finisher, but the monster practically gift-wrapped the opportunity. And if the boss is being that generous, he'll say thank you with a massive punch right between the eyes. Cracks spiderweb across the giant skeleton's entire body. And just like that, it's over. The monster crashes to the floor. Did he actually pull it off? The golden skeleton has fallen. Massive XP drop. He scores over 97,000 gold and unlocks the title Skeleton Slayer. Exhausted, he stands there panting. That was way too close for comfort. He deactivates his skill and checks the status screen. He hit level 36. He's got this cocky grin on his face celebrating the win, but then the real danger hits him. His mana pool is pathetically low for a summoner build. Until now, he scraped by power leveling and snagging titles. But now that the difficulty curve is spiking, and he needs to sustain multiple active skills simultaneously, his mana just can't keep up. He's been investing in his skeletons, giving them gear and everything. But what's the point if they despawn mid-fight because he's out of juice? The worst part, at this stage of the game, he's already grinded every title that boosts mana. After mulling it over, he realizes he's hit a wall. Nothing he can do about it right now. Whatever. He'll just send the footage to Romeni and head home for some beef ramen. Meanwhile, back at Romeni's place, she's beating the stuffing out of a teddy bear, screaming, "Is he insane? Why is he playing like this?" But at the same time, she's jumping with hype. She's never seen a player take down a high-tier boss without taking a single hit. And the craziest part, he did it blind with zero knowledge of the attack patterns. She realizes she doesn't even need to edit this. The raw footage is viral gold. She starts brainstorming the perfect clickbait title. The man who commands the undead, one-man army. Nah, suddenly it clicks. The title has to be Emperor of Solo Play, which ironically is the name of this entire series. Later, at the Hunter Association, look who's back, dealing with that scumbag again. Our boy is feeling pretty cocky now that he's powered up. But the mage, he just wants to know why Hirkan looks like a total hobo. Doesn't matter, he got the goods. He completes Ahimbre's Teachings Part 2 and secures the Osteology skill book. Bro has zero clue what he just unlocked. It's Osteology. Turns out this passive skill buffs every summoned skeleton stats by 5% and slashes mana consumption by a solid 10%. Talk about plot armor. The protagonist snagged exactly the build he needed. That is when Ahimbre drops another bombshell. There is bonus loot. The corrupt tracker ring crafted from that stone he hauled in. Now he can wield corrupt powers. Plus, it grants a flat +9 to all stats, which is already broken. But wait, if he pairs it with the matching necklace, that is an insane +21 boost to every single stat. The guy is practically drooling over it. This ring is exclusive gear for players who crush the first main quest. He lunges to snatch it, greedy as ever, but a Himbri snatches it back and hits him with a psych. Not for you. It is too high tier. The NPC just spins around and waves a casual goodbye. Herkin stands there completely baffled. Did he just get trolled? Why would the guy bait him like that? Then a Himbri turns back and smirks. Come on, try and take it from me. Our boy laughs, powers up, shouting that the geezer is toast if he gets his hands on him. A few hours later, he is stumbling out of the city, ring in hand, muttering that the old man is unhinged. He swears he would end that lunatic if he wasn't an NPC. After finally wrestling the ring away, the bastard hands over the next quest, claiming he sent some dude named Miggy to a castle and he never bounced back. Classic RPG trope. But the issue is Tsurui Castle is a high-level zone, so now our boy has to grind and farm way more before he can step foot there. Right then, a notification pops from Romeni. Urgent news about his upload. Might be worth checking out. Just as we were hyping him up, boom, 2.3 million views, but only 1,000 likes. Come on chat, smash that like button for the boy. Actually like my video too while you are at it. Seriously, when a clip hits over 1 million views with barely 1,000 likes, the ratio is off. Also, some whales started dropping donations. You don't have to, obviously, but shout out to the real ones. Huge respect. All in all, he raked in well, a figure with way too many zeros. He falls back, totally floored, trying to count. 3, 4, 8 zeros. The dude is already hallucinating about meat, filet, mignon, ribs, brisket, the whole menu. Honestly, I rate his taste. Eating top-tier steak every single day, that is the dream life. He was salivating, realizing what kind of jackpot just fell into his lap. He knew the video would pop off, but not like this. The best part, until now, he was locked in on leveling up. But seeing his bank account explode, it is time to log off. It is stake time. Turns out he got a donation from the Thunder Guild, 1 million. Yeah, they are definitely trying to recruit him. Apparently they even slid into his DMs, but he left them on red. That guild is run by none other than the notorious Chae Sol-yun. In his past life, they were just as thirsty. Every time he rejected them and entered a dungeon, they'd spawn camp him. Different timeline, same toxic people, and this time there is no way in hell he is joining their squad. He even remembers saying something cringe back then. There he is, now facepalming, muttering about how annoying they are. That woman was relentless even after he rejected her more times than he could count on 2 hands. Not to mention, he already ran his own guild. She needed to back off. And that friend of his? Yeah, we know he is a snake. Headband guy claims Herkin is lucky. Thunder Guild is top tier in the country. Easily top 30. The guild leader is a Chi-Bull heiress, so anyone who signs the contract is basically guaranteed a 6-figure salary. It makes sense they are chasing a pro player like Herkin. Every time a dungeon video drops, the comments section is just glazing him. He is starting to realize the massive league gap, but Herkin cuts them off, tells them to chill with that noise. He doesn't care about a 6-figure paycheck. He isn't joining the Thunder Hunters either. The bag will come once they become the strongest, and that is the endgame. Why chase quick cash now? He would rather keep enjoying the grind with his guildmates. The guy stands there with red eyes nodding like, you're right, bro. But in the present, Herkin can't believe he actually said that to those scumbags. One slap would be enough to wake his past self up. Back then, he preached loyalty to a bunch of traitors, but now he needs to tell himself that. No time to obsess over money. There is still a mountain to climb. It is way too early to get comfortable. He is absolutely blowing the entire bag right now, but hey, priorities. The skeleton crew is already spawned in, and our boy makes it crystal clear, nobody forget he soloed a gold tier enemy. Put some respect on his name. That represents the standard now. Today, every single squad member is learning how to grind, independently. Back in the day, his old party used to beg for rest days and slack off, acting all weak and unskilled compared to him. But these skeleton summons, they are totally locked in, 0 distractions. Our MC cracks a smile. Yeah, this vibe is completely different. They're about to become the strongest unit in the game. Next stop, Suryu Castle. And until they reach the gates, the grind does not stop. The drill is simple, run the entire way there, and anyone lagging behind catches an immediate beatdown. The little guys take off running, crying their eyes out again. Cut to her. God, I hate her so much. But she's stunning. I don't know why. But every time the artist draws this woman looking this fire, it feels like a trap to make us forgive her. I'm not buying it, but I have a hunch. The guy in the blue cape wants to know what Miss High and Mighty is thinking, sitting casually atop a literal mountain of dragon corpses. That's Haki from the Thunder Guild. She hops down and says nothing. Then she asks for a sit rep on the corrupt count. He admits there's sadly 0 progress to report. They are completely clueless on how to trigger the next quest chain. Seoljong is fuming. She says they cannot let Hydra snag the main quest before them. That would be an absolute embarrassment. Heichi clapbacks that they'll find out soon anyway, since the leaders of the top 30 guilds are about to link up, but she waves him off, saying she has no reason to hang around a bunch of losers. As she walks away, Heichi thinks to himself how icy she always is, and mentally warns the guildmaster to watch his back. After all that drama and cash farming, we cut back to our boy, tossing his money bag on the floor, and finally paying off the loan sharks. He can finally sleep, without worrying about getting assassinated in his pajamas. Next objective, skill books. He scoops up a stack of them, but with those two major problems solved, he's back to being destitute. His bank account hits a flat zero. He stands there clutching 3 books, admitting, yeah, he prepped for this. But he didn't think he'd actually hit rock bottom again. At least now he can equip new skills, and hopefully take less damage. First ability up, a defense buff that fuses monster hide with his own skin. Once it takes enough hits, the material has to be swapped out. He tests it immediately, using the horn he looted from that skeleton boss. Bone armor wraps around him like a helm, granting +5 defense. He grabs a blade and slashes his own arm, shocked that self-harm didn't even leave a scratch. Next book, Curse of Sloth, a debuff skill that tanks enemy movement speed. The catch, the faster or heavier the target, the more mana it burns. He spots a confused skeleton and casts the debuff. Watching it move in slow motion, he realizes, oh yeah, this is going to be meta. Time for the ultimate skill, Golem Summoning. Obviously the hardest and most expensive one to get, but the one he wanted most. The ground starts cracking, his skeletons freak out, and he announces the arrival of his first tank, a massive golem. Rises up, and now he finally feels like a real necromancer possessing a unit that can actually soak up damage. The best part is this wild feature, Mirror Mode. When active, the golem syncs with his movements. If he combines the golem's brute strength with his own speed, this build could be broken. He throws a punch, but the golem stands still. The skeletons stare at him in confusion, and he starts wondering why it glitched. Is it bugged? Then the golem throws the same punch way later, and he realizes the problem. That was the golem's max speed. He laughs, wondering what he's supposed to do with this laggy mess, but inside, he's crying, thinking he got totally ripped off. Scene change to the big summit. Yeah, the meeting of the top 30 guilds. Honestly though, the room is looking dead. Only 4 people showed up. The leader of the Ares Guild, a guy named Nergal, thanks everyone for coming. Gotta admire the optimism. The room was set for 30 people, and there are 4, but he's vibing anyway. Chef notes some familiar faces. And there's this chubby guy. Yeah, his name is literally Berg. Next to him is the one and only Sire. Berg points out they invited 29 people. So why is this place giving ghost town vibes? Chef tries to spin it, claiming the turnout is honestly better than expected. But Nergal keeps it real. It feels off. Usually this place is packed with way more players. Which, let's be fair, checks out. The top 30 guilds are constantly at each other's throats. Nergal cuts the small talk. The Hydra Guild cracked the code on the Corrupt Count's ID. Looks like the final raid is dropping. In 1 month, Chef immediately calls cap on that. No way. None of the other squads are even close. He's convinced Hydra is pulling some shady exploit. Suddenly, Berg slams the table, screaming that it's game over. If those guys clear this, they don't just win the quest, they lock down every future main scenario. We're talking massive sponsorships and total server dominance. Then Sire cuts in, telling everyone to zip it. If you're too scared to play, stay quiet, log off, and stop wasting my time. Berg isn't backing down though. He basically asks if she wants to throw hands right now. Chef jumps in to de-escalate. Chill, we fight enough as it is. Let's try to keep the peace for 5 minutes. Nergal nods, revealing the real agenda, an anti-Hydra alliance. The 4 guilds agree to a ceasefire. No beef until the Corrupt Count situation is handled. Plus, full intel sharing to boost their odds. It's do or die. Nergal asks for thoughts. Chef looks skeptical, but admits it's probably their only play. Berg agrees. It's the only chance they have to stop the Hydra juggernaut. Meeting adjourned. Note that nobody asked Sire. Cut to her place. Yes, her actual house. We are following this girl's arc. Way too closely. Suspicious amount of screen time. The author is definitely trying to make us simp for her. She's sitting there absolutely fuming, failing to solo the first major boss. Total humiliation. Teaming up is a nightmare, but she's got no choice. If Hydra bags the count first, it's wraps for everyone else. No time to mope, time to grind. She makes a call, barking orders. Eyes on Hydra, everyone. If they twitch, I want to know about it. That count belongs to her, period. Smash cut back to the Castle Association. Our boy looks completely lost, trying to decode what this NPC is saying. The guy crosses his arms. Go to Bobor Forest. That's where this Miggy character vanished. He wants Hirkan to play detective and solve the cold case. Major problem, Bobor Forest is swarming with level 70 monsters. Even Hirkan shudders. He tells the guy straight up, that's a death sentence. 1 hit, and I'm respawning. The NPC counters. For a normie, sure. But you're a Himbree's disciple. You're built different. Refuse and you lose your corruption tracker status, which means say goodbye to the ring and the necklace. Back in the city, our MC is slumped by the fountain, looking absolutely defeated. How is he supposed to clutch this? He opens the quest window, finds the Miggy entry. Just reading the text gives him a headache. Objective: investigate corrupt stones, and pick up where Miggy left off. The loot: 500 gold coins and some bonus perks. But the failure penalty is the real kicker. Title revocation. He knows main quests are unforgiving, zero margin for error. But this is next level impossible. He realizes that accepting harder quests is finally catching up to him. Truth is, no normal player could pull off his stats. He's barely survived on past life hacks. But the difficulty curve just went vertical. This zone is for level 60 and up. Soloing it isn't an option. So how does he handle the Bobor Forest nightmare? Right then, he overhears a dude chatting up a catgirl NPC. Yo, did you hear Hydra is about to clear the main quest? She doesn't buy it. Even the top 30 guilds are struggling. But the guy asks, what happens to everyone else's main quest if Hydra clears theirs? That question triggers a lightbulb moment for Hirkin. He realizes he might not need to enter the forest at all. Scene shift. Someone's watching through binoculars, spying on the Count Hunter. He reports nothing to report. Again. An orange-haired guy named Nadal is watching too. His buddy wonders what the bounty is for killing the Count. Nadal shuts him down. Stop dreaming about the loot. This isn't over yet. Mission stealth mode. Their job is to keep eyes on the target, maintain radio silence, and ensure zero leaks. But suddenly, movement from the tree line. A stranger walks out like he owns the place, dropping names. It's Kim Natal from the Red Bulls Guild, and he demands to know why they're creeping on his turf. Kim spins a yarn about hunting some OP monster in the mountains. Claims he's on a solo grind to take it down. Classic excuse. We ain't involved in that drama, the guard lies, flashing a cocky smirk. But Natal isn't buying what he's selling. They try to play it cool, acting like the castle isn't right there. Kim spots their lantern and calls their bluff, camping in the middle of nowhere. Really? Nature calling, you gotta take a dump or something. He cracks a joke, then hits them with the I'll leave you to your business vibe. But look at that face, he knows. He checks his watch and drops a bomb. Guild member, number 8, is already on the scene, so the intel checks out. Meanwhile, cut to Chef, just chilling and living his best life, refusing to believe the hype. But that anonymous tip he received, it's looking more legit by the second. His sidekick, sharp as a tack, admits she thought it was just a troll prank at first. But now she's suspicious. Why would anyone drop high-tier intel for free and stay anon? Chef starts connecting the dots, figuring that maybe, just maybe, some guilds have internal beef. Haters gonna hate, right? Could be a mole in Hydra leaking secrets out of spite. She asks if they should trigger a skirmish just to stall for time. Chef shuts it down immediately. Nah, we dip. Tactical retreat for now. If that's really the corrupt Count's crib, Hydra is gonna swarm it any second now. No point risking a heavy hitter like him. Kim actually blushes, trying to be humble. Oh, stop, you're making me shy, no need to. Gas me up like that. But mid-sentence, wham, an ambush. A sword strikes the ground, detonates, and Chef hears the shockwave miles away. Dust clears and Kim's got his hands up in surrender. Well, looks like the tea was spilled to everyone, not just us. Enter the Thunder Princess A.K.A. Chihuahua. Today's chaotic blonde is none other than Jahui. She demands Kim spill his guts on everything he knows. Meanwhile, let's check in on our boy Hirkin. We see a massive bear bulldozing toward a guard. The dude braces for impact, tanking the hit like a champ. He winds up a punch, but it's slow motion city. And get this, our skeleton crew is sitting back watching the show in literal 3D glasses. They're munching popcorn, while the protagonist searches for loot that isn't there. Then it hits him. Why is it so dead quiet? He sent the emails. He leaked the info. So why is nobody biting? This was his master plan to avoid the nightmare that is Bobor Forest. Basically, he is trying to speedrun the main quest by forcing a server-wide event. See, Warlord is episodic. Right now, everyone is stuck on Chapter 1, the corrupt Count. The second that Count drops, the chapter ends and all those annoying side quests related to it autocomplete. Boom, easy XP. So, yeah, he wants credit for the main quest, but without the risk of failing or getting wrecked in the woods looking for some missing NPC. Simply put, he needs someone else to carry the team. That is why he leaked the coordinates to the whole server. Ping notification pops up. The Hydra Guild is live streaming. We see a giant golem smashed to bits on the ground. The bear tries to interrupt with another attack, but Hirkin slaps it upside the head, like chill out bro. He needs to watch this stream. The whole squad huddles around the screen. Some Hydra rep hypes up the chat. They are about to do the face reveal of the corrupt Count and drop the official raid date. Hirkin is praying it soon. He needs this raid to happen within the next month. That is his quest deadline. The guy announces the date, the chat goes wild, but it is censored for us viewers. Until the next panel reveals it. 3 days. Hirkin breathes a sigh of relief. Way faster than expected. The skeletons stare at him. They know he manipulated the whole server. Now that the cat is out of the bag, It has become a total free-for-all race to see who bags the boss first. Back to the bear fight. Honestly, Hirkin doesn't care who gets the kill. Hydra randoms, whoever. Besides, he knows other guilds out there will eventually outplay Hydra anyway. The world is stacked with skilled players. The real win here is never having to set foot in that cursed forest again, but then smash cut. A player gets flattened. We watch every single member of the Hydra squad get wiped out in seconds. Mission failed. Hirkin yeets his phone at the ground, absolutely raging. How could those morons rush a boss castle with 0 strats and get wiped in an hour? He slams the floor, desperate. Plan A is dead. What now? Right on cue, the Red Bull Guild fires up their livestream. Our boy knows these guys all too well. It's the infamous PK Guild. Chef stands front and center, dropping truth bombs if the castle is resetting. That means the Hydra Guild took a massive L. He tells his squad to open their eyes that enemy was strong enough to crush the competition. And let's be real, Red Bull is low on resources, so their odds of catching a dub are slim to none. But do they care? Nope. They accept the challenge. Everyone's losing their minds, chanting Red Bull, Red Bull. Hirkan just watches, thinking, what's the play here? Don't tell me you're going in blind again. Then Chef drops a bombshell. A special guest is joining the raid party. Yup, it's her. The Thunder Queen herself, Chae-Seol-Yoon. Hirkan's face instantly twists in disgust. What is she doing on his screen? Cut to a flashback moments before the stream. Chef laughs. Shocked, she actually requested a sit-down. And there she is, staring daggers at him. He asks if she's here to declare war. She says no. He cracks a joke, saying that's hard to believe since he heard his guys got absolutely wrecked by her crew. She laughs it off, just a friendly greeting, apparently. But now, it's strictly business. She heard he has intel on the corrupt Count. He plays dumb, acting like he's never heard the name. But Seol-Yoon cuts the act immediately. She knows for a fact that the top 30 guilds got the leaked info. And since he's sniffing around, even though his guild isn't exactly known for questing, it proves he knows something. Chef, looking a bit cornered, admits there's no point hiding it. Yeah, he knows. But the problem is, he's got 0 solid leads. Seol-Yoon leans in, smirking, like she owns the place, and slams her sword onto the table, asking for his take. Does he think Hydra will pull it off? He says it's a toss-up, but she is 100% sure they're gonna fail. She's convinced Hydra rushed the raid date just to chase the world-first clear title. But the corrupt and dollar Count is the first boss of a major zone. It's not gonna be a walk in the park. Chef replies. We're talking about Hydra here, so what's your angle? He tells her to quit stalling. Seol-Yoon just chuckles, drives her blade into the table, and proposes a team-up for the dungeon. She promises to hand him the first kill on a silver platter. Cold, bold, lethal. Chef is floored. He thought she was just talking smack this whole time. Back to the present, she's live and in the zone. And just like the rumors said, she is absolutely deleting monsters left and right. But now they're face to face with the Count. The boss looks down and sneers. Not bad, but your little rebellion ends here. A legion of mobs charges and the guild starts to crack under pressure. Chef realizes fast that his team is hitting their limit. Seol-Yoon mutters that she's stacked up a body count, but the numbers just keep climbing. That's when Chef collapses in front of her, telling the Thunder Queen he'll carve a path to the Count. He stabs his sword into the ground and blasts the route open. She charges straight for the boss. The monster roars, furious at the audacity, and unleashes a flurry of tentacles. She dodges, launching into the air, ready to strike. This is the endgame, until something spears her right through. For a second, we all thought she had it. Chef screams her name, but this demon actually gets back up. She baited us all. It was a trap. She tanks the hit and slices the freaking boss in half. Chef stares, eyes popping out of his head, and finally admits it. She is way scarier than he ever imagined. There she stands, ice-cold foot planted on the fallen boss, looking like absolute royalty. Meanwhile, Hirkan isn't exactly thrilled, but whatever. Mission accomplished. The corrupt Count is dead, and he doesn't care who pulled the trigger. Let her have her little moment of glory because payback is loading. In the end, he's going to be the one to take her down. Back in the Bulkus Mountains, our boy plants his feet, declaring his name is An Jae-hyun, also known as Hirkan, gamer, warlord, a man reborn. His dream, to become the strongest and get revenge on every single bastard who ruined his life. With that many titles, the only question is why every quest he takes ends with him being chased by mobs and running for his life. A few hours earlier, we see him arriving at a blocked zone, one that only opens when a specific condition is met. But our boy, clever as always, knows this is where the next main scenario starts. And guess what? He's already in position. Immediately, he snags the title, first to step on the mountain, gaining +2 to all stats. Turns out the map only unlocks once the Count is defeated, and he was ready, camping the spot. He summons his skeleton crew and announces it's finally his time to shine. Or, maybe not. He's face to face with a pack of level 60 boars. The problem? He's only level 41. The forest is swarming, terrible matchup. Cut to now, and bro is sprinting for his life. He forgot a crucial detail: nobody farms past the barrier. That means this zone is crawling with fresh, aggressive mobs. Realizing he's just running in circles, he makes a choice. He buffs his skeleton warriors and sends the squad in. The boars charge, crunch, smash. His bone boys get absolutely obliterated. One hit, done. Hirkan's jaw drops. These things are one-shotting his army. But he's cool with it. They were just bait. The curse of sloth triggers right on cue. And now the mobs are frozen stiff. He draws his blade ready to clap back and make them pay for his fallen minions, then slip. He steps on a literal banana peel and faceplants, hard into the dirt. Bonk. Something lands on his head. It's another mob. A freaking armored monkey that loves trolling humans. Hirkan curses, but he's cooked. The sloth curse fades. The boars are loose. He thinks it's game over. Until whoosh. A bolt rips through a boar, splitting it clean in half. Attacks out of nowhere. Someone with a heavy crossbow is raining, death wiping the entire map. Hirkan's stunned. Who has the DPS to melt high-level mobs like that? He turns around. Is it her? Nope. Profile said elf archer. Reality says grown man with a mustache. Cut to Suryu Castle. 2 players are people watching. Check that guy out. He's not wearing the white Mamba set. His buddy nods. Yeah, that's rank A gear only. Glasses guy turns to Mikkel. Did you find the leak yet? He's asking about the shadowy woman, the one the artist refuses to draw clearly. She answers, sadly no. None of the guilds have a clue. They're still hunting for the dungeon leaker, but it was all anon. Glasses guy pivots, asking if there's dirt on that masked player. Mikkel shrugs. Just upload standard hunting clips. They can't believe a total noob who just started the main quest is the mastermind. She asks about his current gig. I'm supporting the Swipers Guild. She sighs. Sounds like another long grind. He swears he'll hunt down whoever is messing with the game's balance. Meanwhile, deep in the woods, our boy is grinning like an idiot, flexing that he's Ajin's disciple. He's hype. He found his target and got saved from becoming boar food. Wait, that's not McGee. That's Mong. Is this the guy? It's getting a little messy. Doesn't matter. This is the key NPC for Chapter 2. Even though this guy is cracked enough to train the Prince, Mong got banned from the city during a lore event. Since then, he's been captain of Mount Vulcas, basically the exact dude Hirkan needs for the next arc. Mong tells him to bounce. It's not safe. Don't know why you're here, kid, but this place is Mob City. Hirkan smirks. The corrupt count is down, but the corrupted mobs are still prowling. He claims he tracked corrupt energy here, asks Mong if he knows anything. Of course, he's just saying that to proc the main quest. Mong says, I have a suspect in mind, but no proof. Hirkan reads the room immediately. Need a hand with that. Gathering evidence triggered. Bam. 2 new titles. First to contact the Vulcas Hunter and Initiator. That last one gives plus 14 to all stats. He eyes the rewards, and you can tell. He wants that XP bad. He tells Mong, hit me with the quest. I'm ready. Mong nods. The job: scout the area and kill 50 mountain mobs. Payday 500 gold. And Mong's trust. Scared. Please. He's stoked. It's the perfect grind. Needs to level up his minions anyway. He'll skip the bears and boars for now, start with the trash mobs. Then a sound. That massive armored monkey is staring him down. Our boy grins. Time to teach this stupid monkey a lesson.